Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is WR round number 3. As you can see there, last week we had Silverstone and we got Joseph Loke, British Motorsport Driver of the Year Junior or something like that. He won the award, so he gets to drive
on soft.
So he gets to drive the Aston Martin F1 car from 2021, if I remember correctly,
On
or maybe 2022. But now back to the race. We are 6 points behind him, and we are once again doing a last to first challenge. And this time we are racing around Las Vegas. So turn 1 is gonna be tricky, and I'm just gonna hang back.
You got the entire Ferrari team out of me.
We're gonna hang back a little bit and make sure we don't get any damage. It's a very low grip circuit, and to add on to that, it is very low downforce because the straights are so long. As we got Simon Lukomsky in the Haas on our outside there. I was having a little look there, but decided to back out of it and go for a good exit into the most difficult corner on the track. No real reference of where you can brake. You have to brake there purely on feeling, and up to P19 we go. Both Ferrari esports drivers on softs, as you can see there, Barry and Nicolas on the softs. We have gone for the hards, and we're gonna do a much longer first stint. And yeah, as you can see here, it's really backing up as all the traffic has to go through that very tight 90-degree left-hander. And as you can see there, a lot of people using their battery already here, and I knew they were all going to use their battery, so I decided not to do it, and then maybe we can make a move somewhere on the second lap in the middle sector. So hanging back here a little bit. However, we're gonna completely close that gap again, simply because it's the same story as last corner. Everyone has to go through such a tight corner, and I decided to use a bit of my battery there to really get up close behind Paul Eckelmeyer. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Anyway, down the inside we go in turn 1, and that's going to turn to the outside for turn 2, as Dylan goes a little bit wide, which is a bit annoying for us, because I wanted to use up that space to gain a position. We did manage to do so anyway, so P18 it is. And Dylan Warren up next, Ferrari esports development driver. So we got a lot of Ferrari esports drivers in here today. Istvan Pukki as well. So 4 Ferrari esports drivers driving today, and it's just me from the Mercedes team. I think Jake was sick this race, and we go around the outside of Daniel Kjeldsen into P17 with the help of Slipstream, DRS and some ERS. Purple middle sector for us there, and that shows that we really push there on the straight. You can hear the engine absolutely scream as it's backed up a little bit here as people go side by side through the chicane.
Oh my god.
I decided to set up the exit nicely, but I just got a ton of wheel spin, so yeah, didn't manage to pull a great exit off there. However, we're still gonna gain a position on Kian in the Red Bull, and up to P16 we're gonna go. We've got the inside for the next one, so P16 it is, and another position gain as I'm trying to get the power down. I used a bit of my battery just to make sure Kian was not gonna get back at us into turn number 3. Lap 11 now. You can see some people go side by side there into the long left-hander, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have a little go at Dylan up front here. We're gonna send it down the inside, and we're gonna leave him space, of course, for the next right-hander. Unfortunately, just not quite enough grip on the outside there to make the move stick, and I decided to back out of that one and go again in a few laps. Pit window has opened as Istvan Pukki is already boxed for a new set of mediums. The Ferrari guys are still out, Barry and Nicolas, and each one has gone for a very aggressive undercut. So let's see where he's gonna come out. Once again, DRS for everyone in this train, and we're gonna reach top speeds basically every single lap of 355 kph, almost hitting the limiter actually. as we brake really hard at around 120 meters before the chicane right here. Christian has a little bit of a moment. I had to back out of it as well, unfortunately, to make sure I didn't hit him. And you can see that the Ferrari of Barry Borman boxing with a 3-second penalty as well. We go down the inside of Christian Jacobs and up into P11. We're gonna go. We got a bit more traction on the inside there, and P11 it is. Now we've got Dylan Warren once again out of us. I think he's been in front of us for 90% of the race, and yeah, he has great pace as well, of course. Otherwise he would not be part of the Ferrari esports team. Lap 14 now. Most people have boxed, and you can see we are up to P4. However, I think we're in a net P16 or P17 at the moment, so a lot of overtaking we're gonna have to do in the final 10 laps of the race. Up to P3 we go. We got Duncan Hoffland 3.5 seconds out of us, and Shanaka Clay 3.5 seconds out of us as well in the Red Bull, both on similar strategies to us. So that's interesting, as I'm trying to make the corner actually there. Braked a little bit late. Braking zones change a lot in a race like this, of course, simply because the weight changes, but if you arrive at a corner with 20 or 30 kph more because of DRS, then the braking zone obviously increases a lot. Not to mention, if you've got a car ahead, you've got less drag, which means the braking zone increases even more. Daniel Kjelsen managed to overtake us here on the in-lap. Duncan Hoffland and Shanaka Clay boxed in at lap 14. We have added on an extra lap and are boxing at the end of 15. So 10 laps on a set of mediums we're gonna do here. Purple pit stop, and it's gonna be a quick one, but you can see the Ferrari that's like in P4 has almost made up an entire pit stop distance since he has boxed. And that goes to show how strong fresh tires are on this track. Now, it is simply because you're on such a low downforce track and there's little grip, but you're also using the C5, C4 and the C3 compound of tires, which are the softest compounds available, which means you get a lot of grip, but they also wear out really fast. So we're gonna have a big pace advantage over everyone ahead, but we have to catch up to a lot of people ahead of us. So as you can see there on the mini-map in the bottom left, 2 Ferraris have almost caught up to the people that still have to box. Alvaro Carreton, who we only overtook like 2 laps ago, is almost getting passed by the Ferrari esports team that are on relatively fresh tires. I think they're on 4-lap-old or 5-lap-old mediums. But that means we're gonna have a big pace advantage to them as well. Turn on the overtake button there for a brief moment. Gonna turn on the DRS as Daniel Kjelsen doesn't have any DRS. We're gonna move up to P16 again. And at the next DRS detection zone, we should be getting DRS out of turn 2 from Kian Goedendorp, Dutch driver in the league racing scene as well. I think moved recently from PlayStation to PC. I think there are more drivers this race that have moved from console to PC recently. And as you can see there on the exit, we're going to be within 1 second of Kian at the detection point, as there's a yellow flag for Luke Smith, who's gone off the track. I'm not sure why or what has happened, but that's another position for us, so we'll take it. And now we're going to have to go on the attack on Kian as soon as possible, because we have to use the advantage of the fresher tires as much as we can to catch up to the leaders. So a little bit of moment there. The back end wants to snap away in that long left-hander. As you hit the brakes, the center of mass moves forward, and that makes the rear of the car feel a little bit light. Effect is not as big in the game as it's in real life, but there's at least some kind of movement when you hit the brakes, whereas on F122 you got more understeer most of the time. So yeah, I hope in the future they will increase it even more, as Kian on the inside there stands no chance. His battery has been completely depleted, as you can see the back of his car flash, which means he doesn't have the extra 160 horsepower when he enables the overtake button. We had slightly more straight line speed there as well. And up into P13 we go. Dylan Warren once again ahead of us at lap 19 here. He boxed a few laps earlier than us, I think 1 or 2 laps earlier than us. And we're gonna go in the attack now to try and get past, not Dylan, but get past Simon Lukomsky. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And we're gonna move up to P12. And actually, Simon has lost 3 positions in one straight because the DRS is so incredibly strong around here. So Dylan Warren on a similar strategy to us. We've got an Alfa Romeo in P10, 2.5 seconds ahead of us. Kai, I think, moved recently from Xbox to PC, if I remember correctly. Could be PlayStation as well, but I'm quite sure he did make a move from console to PC recently, as Dylan Warren has a bit of a moment there, locked the rear tires, going onto the long back straight, and now we're gonna get DRS, and we're gonna try and overtake the Alfa Romeo of Kai Pearson on the next DRS straight, so that's after turn 2. And because we're on fresher tires, we're gonna try and straight away break the DRS to him. You can see how much more grip we have through here, gaining an easy 10th in that corner. Now Daniel Kjeldsen and Dylan Warren behind me went side by side into the chicane, so they lost a bit of time there, and that gives us an even bigger opportunity to break the DRS to them, because we're not breaking the DRS really to Kai. We're more like breaking it to the cars behind us at the moment, because Kai is gonna lose DRS and positions eventually anyway, because he's on much older tires. We're gonna go in the attack here in the middle sector, push as hard as we can to increase our gap to over a second, and as you can see there, we easily managed to do so. 2-second gap to Dylan Warren, 2.2 second gap to Daniel Kjeldsen now in lap 23, and we have caught up to the leading pack with 2.5 laps to go, and we're gonna have to pass somehow 9 cars to win this race with 2.5 laps to go. Now it is a crazy track, but it's probably not that crazy of a track, so let's see how far we can move up into the top 10. We got Fabrizio Donoso, F1 eSport driver for Aston Martin, right in front of us. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of ERS, which is a bit of a struggle, to be honest. We're gonna tuck in the slipstream, and I expected Fabrizio, as you can see there, to use a bit of his battery, so I decided not to use any and go more in the attack in the final 2 laps of the race. We're just gonna use the DRS close up. I think Fabrizio was having a little look down the inside of Thomas Gall anyway, and you can see how much later we can brake on these fresher tires as there's a crash up ahead. We saw it really early on when it happened, managed to stay out of trouble. Fabrizio Donoso ahead of us now.
Fab has no front wing.
No front wing left. Thomas Gall behind us, front wing damage as well.
Thomas has front wing damage as well.
And you can see people can even barely make that easy
flat out left kick. That's no front wing. What are you doing, man? You've got no front wing.
As Thomas Gall behind us tapped us briefly on the back, which almost made us spin around, but we have managed to get up to P6 now, and you can hear me say last lap when we were in P10 that we were not expecting to have a chance to win here, but suddenly we can see P2 right in front of us. P1 might be slightly too far away, to be honest, as we go into the long left-hander. Philip Preisneder spun around. We just about managed to avoid the pile-up that was created there.
Yeah,
and unfortunately we got a 3-second penalty for avoiding that incident, but we're just gonna keep on pushing. Duncan Hovland behind us with a lot of front wing damage as well. And now we've got the Ferrari Esports guys ahead of us. Barry with a 3-second penalty, and Nicolas 2.3 seconds ahead of us. We're not gonna get any DRS, which
Come on, Duncan, already overtake me.
Bit frustrating, because yeah, Duncan is gonna get an easy pass on us here with the DRS. We're gonna reach a top speed of maybe 335. Duncan is gonna reach a top speed of around 360, so we stand absolutely no chance of defending against him there. But Duncan does have front wing damage, and we're gonna go on the attack again out of turn 2 and then try to break the DRS in that middle sector, as Thomas Gall has a lot of top speed compared to us into turn 1. You can see
Oh, he has front wing damage as well.
as you can see Duncan trying to get the car rotated
Oh my god.
turn 1. And yeah, I had to be careful there because I had not realized up until that point that Duncan has front wing damage. But you can see his entire front end and end plate is missing. And that means he's gonna have no front end in this section as well. And we're gonna have to push as hard as we can in order to try and pull that 1 second gap. Use every bit of ERS we have to pull out to that 1 second delta. You can see we're gaining a lot. And it's gone up to 8.5 tenths. Unfortunately, a little moment there as our tires are starting to fall away now as well. And it's gonna be very close as we head into the final corner before the DRS detection zone. We are not gonna get any DRS from the Ferrari guys up front. Is the gap gonna be big enough? It is not. And now we've got no ERS remaining.
No way, man.
And Duncan behind us is gonna get massive DRS down the straight. And we're gonna be a sitting duck here, unfortunately. Duncan had ERS available as well to use. You can see he's not even flashing here as he heads into the next braking zone. And unfortunately, that little mistake that seemed like it only cost us like a tenth ended up costing us this position here. And we dropped to P5 on the grid. And with a 3-second penalty, we're gonna drop even more.
It is.
Now, usually that penalty gets removed. But because I was so busy with F1 Esports preparation, I completely forgot to put an inquiry against it, and we actually dropped to P8. So I was preparing for F1 Esports Event 2, which did not happen anyway. So yeah, a bit frustrating that I had a lot of questions on why it's been cancelled. I don't know as well. Yeah, a bit frustrating that I spent so much time preparing for F1 Esports this year. I think I've got well over 1,000 hours on the game already, and we've done one race. So I hope we can go racing soon. I've got no clue, as I said before, why the event got cancelled. I know basically as much as you guys. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the league racing vid. Nonetheless, sorry that I forgot to put an inquiry for the 3-second penalty removal. But yeah, as I said, I was just so busy with preparing for F1 Esports that I completely forgot about it. And yeah, this has cost us some points in the WOR Championship, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.